G.
William, Arthur. Oh, it's Christmas. Come on up.
Yep. And Happy New Year.
Have we got a show for you?
Oh, we do. Happy New Year. Yeah, William's here with me. Here we go. All right, William, that's it. We're good. See, he's behaving
William,
himself.
stay away from those carrots. Those carrots are for the rabbits. Leave them alone.
Oh, no, I told him that you were going to give him some carrots on this trip. What's the deal?
Oh,
jeez, he's
well,
going
all
to be mad
right.
at
He
me.
can have one. He can have one. My little rabbit.
He's so mad he's leaving.
Oh, William, come back! Come back! Come back!
Look, you got him crying.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Merry
almost
Christmas.
New Year.
Yeah, Happy
Hey,
Kwanzaa.
have
Merry
I got
Kwanzaa.
some resolutions for you?
Happy
You wanna
Hanukkah
hear
for
resolutions?
all my Hebrew friends out there. Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy whatever time of year you think it is. Happy winter solstice, Happy Happy snow.
I'm going to let you get that out of your system.
I'm done. We're finished. Go.
Oh, good.
Okay. What do you got?
New resolutions.
Uh-oh.
2017 is going to be an amazing year.
Okay.
And you should think about what are your resolutions this year? I almost forgot to make some. And I have decided one really big one.
Yeah. What's that? I can't wait to hear this.
You're going to love hearing this because, it affects you.
Oh, okay. It's always nice to appear in somebody else's resolution. You're either in trouble or it's really good. I will not hang around with that man this year.
Except for I have to do a show with him.
Okay.
No.
So
No. I mean, if you can really objectively look at yourself, it's a gift. If you can just step out of you and see all the, times that you are really, really strong with people, and you want to gentle that so that they can sort of understand where you're coming from. I'm going to be gentler this year. I'm going to be more loving and kind. That is my goal.
That's really sweet. That's nice. I applaud you in your efforts. And you know what? You'll change the world around you, Gene. Everybody else will be that way, too. You're always loving and kind.
You can only hope.
Yeah.
No, come on. When you start messing with me, what do I do? Same thing you do to me.
Yeah.
Torture each other unmercifully.
We used to be brother and sister in past lives, I'm almost positive.
Yeah, and speaking of past lives, when you remember somebody you've been sometime way deep in the recesses of the garments of the folds of your garments in your subconscious.
Yeah, that's it.
Where all the records lie. There's supposedly 90% of your memory is down in your subconscious. And so you react instinctively to people that you're interacting with in the now, and it's coming from past life, momentums.
And I'll add to that.
So it's coming back.
I'll add to that. Or they look like somebody that you knew from a past life. They're playing that role.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. And you know what? It's not necessarily bad to be a great, famous character or a unknown person. We've probably all been great and small in many lifetimes. We've been the king and the slave because we have to learn the lessons from all those lifetimes. But truly, when we start predicting who we were in past lives, for instance, Trump and Patton and, different identities, Franklin Roosevelt and Clinton and Chelsea Roosevelt and Eleanor Roosevelt, for example. Mussolini and Clinton, for example. Let's see. I could go on and on. The list goes on and on and on. We've all been somewhere at some time, and we've done good deeds and bad deeds. And there's nothing wrong with thinking and probing that information. But, the only true answer that you have and the only factual information that you can get is from that still small voice in the back of your head. You can think till you're blue in the face because someone tells you that you were, Joe Blow or Patton or John Adams or whoever, but only that still small voice in the back of your head knows for sure. And so don't let a psychic or somebody project stuff on you when they don't have that saying beauty is in the eye of the beholder, because you're beholding your own karma and nobody else can tell you what your karma was. And if they do, they might get it wrong, because in all reality, only your God knows for sure.
Yeah, I got to weigh in on this one, because this is something that we've talked about for a long period of time. And I had a psychic in my family, and that's part of the reason why all this information was always something that went on, and it was a piece of information that had been bantered about by the family since I was a little kid. So now part of my karma is to come into this embodiment to get rid of that, sort things out, have fun with it, decide what's going on so that the real can be divided from the unreal. And I will tell you, from studying this for a long period of time, people will be brought into your life, and the histories of certain people will be brought into your life. And I firmly believe that's to help you gain some kind of a momentum on something that those persons can show you. So, for example, if you study the lives of the saints, they will bring forth their momentum of their positive. If you are studying George Washington or a John Adams or somebody like that, where you need to understand leadership or roles of how they interacted or how they were chosen for their mission by God, it's important that those things are brought to your attention. It's like studying history. So, we've had a lot of fun with that kind of concept, but I'll tell you one thing, my study of George Washington and John Adams has yielded a lot of fruit that has helped me out in my business and everything else. And the last thing I'll say about reincarnation, when it's time for you to know, God will make it happen. And I can absolutely guarantee that as well, because I've had that occur in my life as well. So,
well, yeah, the information comes down the pipeline naturally. It'll come into your mind, and you're like, oh, that's an absolute truth. Almost as natural as getting up this morning and thinking about what you did yesterday. It'll be just like that.
And now you have to challenge. You have to challenge it, though, in prayer. And I got to tell you that, having been around psychics for a lot of years, you have to challenge any information that you receive.
Absolutely.
And when you do that, it will come back. And it may come back in a year. It may come back in a couple of years. It may come back in 30 seconds. But if you go ahead and you challenge that and you stay true to your God and you're centered in your mission and call for your mission it'll become clarified. So for those that take exception for anything that we've said on this show, I'm sorry it's rubbed you the wrong way, but we're having fun with it. So when I say it's
no kidding,
lighten up,
because I could every time I see. Is it the Three Stooges? What are their names? Larry, Joe, and... Then, of course. Then, of course, there's the horse.
Then, of course, there's the horse.
And King Arthur, of course.
That's right. Mr. Ed. The famous Mr. Ed. So anyway, reincarnation. So go out, the prophecy is given, and I relate a story that was definitely... A revelation that wasn't just in the mind. It happened. So go out, prophecyisgiven.com. There's a good story out there.
Well, I know one thing, that no matter who you are, you all have a higher self and a Christ self. That where every truth abides. And we all can lock into the mind of God because we're all one. 1 times 1 times 1 in physics always equals 1. So you can get information and somebody else can challenge you on it. Just like what we went through with Patton. And in all reality, only Donald J. Trump, president-elect, knows for sure who he was. And we can have fun, again, with that. And there's no reason to, get yourself all up in arms just because you have a different view of things.
Or
when I say beauty is
Or have heard something from other people.
Or have heard something.
Yeah.
Secondhand, of course. And it's always secondhand, but I know all because I heard it secondhand.
That's right.
My teacher told me one time.
Yeah, that's right.
My teacher told me one time, the greatest teacher that I've ever had in this life, she said that unless you hear it from the horse's mouth, don't believe it. Because people have layers of their memory body that can, gets in the way of what they're trying to relay. So if I hear something, I really have to go to the horse's mouth to find out if that's true or not. Horse's mouth could be your higher self.
Yeah. Do some spiritual work on it. Do a novena, some prayer work. and find out.
And anyway, but reincarnation is so cool because if you think about where you are now in time and space, you think about your astrology and all the things you face with people, you know, there's a real big clue, Dick Tracy, of where you've been before. Seriously. So I think about my struggles in life, my struggles with my spiritual understanding and my, you know, walk in the path that I've chosen and the people that I run into and the types of interaction that I have with them just really makes me so clear as to where I've been.
Yeah.
And in Atlantis, I think that in Atlantis,
here we go. Atlantis.
There was this great order of Melchizedek. There was an order of Melchizedek. They were priests and priestesses who wore the long white robes, you know, and did their service. And they were attacked. And they were taken down and beat up and, you know, some horrible things happened. And there was another order, too. A man by the name of Mark Prophet. He was... I don't know what his name was back then. Do you? He also had an order at the same time that Melchizedek had an order, and they were friends and buddies. I can't. But my higher self showed me the incident of the people raiding the temple and beating us up, and I remember wearing a long, beautiful white silky gown on. Just, you know, back in those days, I loved the way they dressed, if you can remember. But
I don't have
any
real recollection of those times.
This isn't psychic. This is just like I closed my eyes and I wanted to know what my spiritual struggle was, and then I prayed on it for a long time, and this is the vision that came to me. So you can all have visions. I don't know. But it's not psychic if you are attuned with your higher self and you have done your prayer work continually, not just, you know, randomly, and you have that insight. We all have intuition. We all have memory bodies. There's nothing wrong with remembering a past life, clearly. I believe I was beat up really bad in a temple in Atlantis, and I saw it so clearly, just like I got up yesterday and made breakfast for everyone. I remember making pancakes. I made pancakes yesterday for everyone. They were perfect size.
I made pancakes today.
So it came to me, it came to me just like that. And so in this life, I'm doing battle with that. Some of the same people have come into my life and are trying to beat me up again. So history repeats itself over and over again. What are you going to do this time?
Yeah. So
what did you do last time?
And that's what Gene and I have been talking about with Patton and Trump. If you look, just if you doubt any of this stuff, and this is what gets me, just look at the movie Patton, and then look at the behavior, and then look at what you're seeing over here. The parallels are uncanny. Even if they're not
again and again.
And even if the guy is not the same guy, they're cut from the same cloth. They got to be from the same angelic realm or something like that. They come from the same soul evolution. So it's like these guys, are kindred spirits and kindred brothers. And you can learn a lot by studying history about what's going on, as we pointed out with Mussolini and Clinton. So, I mean, it's the same thing that's going on. So, whatever it is, okay, it doesn't matter. Fine, that's all well and good. But
there is one thing to this, and the reason we're talking about it. The most important thing that all of us can learn in life is how to discern spirits. What's really acting here?
Absolutely.
That's the bottom line.
Yep.
That's the bottom line.
And in fact, I know there's some metaphysical teaching that says that discernment of spirit is a gift of the Holy Spirit, and it should be the first one that we pursue.
Right. Right.
Discernment of spirits. There's a Quan Yin mantra for discernment of spirits. Yes,
Quan Yin is my hero. She's like the Jesus in the East that he is to us in the West. Quan Yin is the one who is the goddess of compassion, and she always went where everybody else didn't want to go, like the prison houses and the lepers, and just like Jesus did. She hung out with all the have-me-nots.
Yeah, let me see if I can find this one.
I'm a have-me-not in this life, and I'm hoping Quan Yin's hanging around with me.
Let me see if I can find this. I'll see if we can. I don't know. Just carry on. I'll see if I can find this in the meantime.
Yeah, if you ever get yourself to Kansas City, walk into the Nelson Art Gallery and stand before this statue of Quan Yin that was brought over from China. It's 1,100 years old. It's huge. It's beautiful. And it's holiness. I mean, you really do feel the presence of something special working through this statue. Of course, she's a talisman. We've done a show on Quan Yin before, and we'll continue to talk about her because she's amazing, and she's always with you, especially if you just bother to make the connection, make the chant. On my website, astrologygenehart.com, I've got a little chant to her that goes, Namu Ching Jing Guan Yin, Namu Ching Jing Guan Yin, Namu Ching Jing Guan Yin. And the point of it is that she controls what you say, so you don't say anything foul that would make karma for you, because that would keep you bound to the earth and coming back into re-embodiment, or there you go, reincarnation. So she controls your word, or helps you say the kind thing instead of the gossip or the hurtful thing or saying it wrong. So I do that one every day before I open my mouth, because I talk for a living doing astrology charts all day. But you might try it. Namu Ching Jing Guan Yin. Saying it over and over and seeing her stand there helping you think before you actually open your mouth. I have a great gift of...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Of wearing my foot in my mouth all the time, so she really helps me with that.
Well, you're not the only one that has exclusive rights to putting their foot in their mouth. That's for sure. Hey, what we'll do is we'll put the mantra right up on the post on YouTube and also on our the Trek Up.
But you can hear it. You can actually hear it on astrologygenehart.com. I have a meditation and prayer page, and so you can learn sort of the rhythm and what it sounds like. It's just like an ohm. When you get several people doing ohms together, it's so beautiful. It sounds so holy. We had a big Christmas party that Arthur couldn't come to, but it was a blast.
Sorry we missed that one.
It was a pot. Yeah, it was a big pot fortune, and people brought all kinds of really good, yummy food. And we did we sang a song over the food as we blessed it. It was kind of fun, like I think some song I used to sing when I was a little girl. I think it, God our Father, God our Mother, once again, thank you for this blessing, da-da-da-da-da. Just kind of a fun, perky song. Then everybody did an ohm, everybody together, and it was in perfect harmony. I swear it felt like we all just floated out of that room. Experiment with ohms. Ohms are amazing. They're taking sound, bringing it into matter, and if you just almost feel it in every chakra. What's a chakra? It's like your spiritual centers, like in your heart, your throat, your third eye, your crown. They all start tingling when you do that over and over again. And you do it really long. I don't know if Arthur and I can do one in harmony here on the mic, but, it's like, take a deep breath. You center in your heart and you just go, Isn't that cool? Can you sort of hear and feel that vibration?
I'd like to do a harmonic ohm. Do you ever do those? Somebody takes a high note and you take a low note and you make the whole thing a harmonic.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. That's a lot of fun.
Pythagoras was the one who came up with the harmonics, and how each harmonic was a mathematical equation and influenced a level of matter, could actually turn the course of, an energy. For instance, somebody's yelling at you. You could come back with a certain sound and a frequency, and that yelling would be dissipated by the very love that you put through the sound. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, you know what? There's some really cool YouTube videos out there where you can see the harmonics of sound and what it does to like sand, and it will take the patterns, and you can see the number of petals in the pattern will increase based on the harmonic. Oh, I've seen a couple of those videos. I'll see if I can post a link for that too out on the Trek Upward radio show. It's really neat to see those.
Yeah, and then you can also take dissonant sounds, and it makes real distorted images. Really interesting.
Well, that's how the Bose silent speakers work. The headphones that gained popularity for people that were flying, because they wanted to be able to have sound silencers. So the way it works is, what it does is the headphones will pick up by microphone what's going on the outside sound. So people wear these in airplanes. So you got the white noise of the aircraft, and you have all the other noise, and then it would send to your ears some of that, but it would also send the inverted signal of that. So it has logic in it to flip the signal so that when the two met, they canceled each other out, and that's why those headphones work. So it actually nullifies the sound coming into your ears. And, of course, you pick some of it up, from the bleed around the outside of the headphones, having, done radio like that. But it's cool the way the technology's been used to help you with those kind of things, so that you can actually have noise canceled out. So there's noise canceling
frequencies
headphones.
and vibrations.
Oh, it's so neat. Yeah, I love that stuff. It's pretty good.
It is amazing how what you hear can influence your mood in the moment instantly. It's almost like a song. A good country song can take you backwards in the pickup truck and you end up, divorced and miserable. Or forward.
my dog ran away. My wife divorced
or you listen
me.
to
My truck broke down.
Sound is amazing. It can change your mood in a New York second.
Yeah, I don't want you making no fun of no country music for me now. Come on, darling.
I wish that in the I can't even say that word, inauguration for our president, that they would play amazing, high frequency music like, who is that blind opera singer?
I know who you're talking about. Oh.
He was going to sing there, and he has just a beautiful voice. You talk about working with sound and vibration. That guy is a master, but I guess he's not going to now, and there's a lot of the leftists have threatened him, and everybody's, I think, thinking some terror thing is going to happen. But of course, they haven't talked to their local astrologer, Gene Hart, who would tell you that it is not in the stars for a terrorist act to happen at the inauguration. And as I said from the very beginning, Trump is going to win the primary. He's going to win the election, and he's going to go all the way to the White House. And everybody all the way along the way have said, but this is going to happen, that's going to happen. But, there's so many people praying for Donald Trump, putting out that sound, that, no, it's not going to happen. The sound influences matter. So if you say prayers, you're going to mitigate things, and they'll never happen.
The guy that
Prophecy
you're thinking
is to be,
The guy that you're thinking of is Andrea Bocelli.
Yeah, oh my gosh. He does this Ave Maria song that just melts me. Talk about working with sound and frequency and matter. Woo.
Yeah.
But then also, your chakras can get desensitized by some of the dark sounds you hear, and you almost start letting them be familiar, and then you start getting comfortable with them. Beware of the sounds that you choose to engage your energy in, or spend concentrated time listening to.
What I wish they'd play at the inauguration is, how about some of the good Marshall music? Stars and Stripes Forever and the Washington Post March, and it would totally take it up, because it raises the light from your base chakra up your spine, instead of rock music that takes it down.
Kundalini fire.
And here's the other thing Gene's talking about: all these people refusing to support the president because they think they understand. I got to stop. This is a reality check here. Where did they get their information so that they think that they're not getting that he's the way it is? From the press that has been controlled, that we've told you about for the last year and a half. So the problem is everybody is taking this stand because they do not know the real truth. So you folks, if you pull back some of the covers especially about Donald Trump's adversary, opponent / other person, and you start looking deep, you are going to be shocked as to what has come out. And we're trying to open that up for you so that you can learn that, and you can be at peace with it, and you apply your spiritual work and your energies to that so that it can be dealt with. There's a lot of detail evil there. So anytime you hear somebody that's going really negative against Trump, or really negative about this, and he's not my president, this kind of stuff, that's because they refuse to understand or see the truth. And they don't want to see it, and they're saying, well, the press told me this, that, and the next thing. Again, they don't want to see it. So we're back to the discernment of spirits again.
Please, 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 please go watch that classic movie with Jimmy Stewart, Smith Goes to Washington. That will tell you the whole story.
Mr.
It is so
Smith
true.
Goes to Washington.
Goes to Washington.
Yeah.
Oh, he's like I said in another show, he is my first crush.
Yeah.
Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah. Golly. Anyway, so do you see anything for what's going on for 2017? Do we see any
I do.
What do you got?
Now, really using the power of sound and the fact that Uranus is going to stay and remain in Aries in the 20-degree decan. It's hitting the 20s, and that decan would be it would be Sagittarius. We really have to watch. So anyway, Uranus is going to be in the 20-degree decan, which is a Sagittarius backdrop.
Yeah.
Sagittarius rules foreigners, and it also rules politics and negotiations. I think that's where a lot of our attention is going to go. But we have to watch for trigger-happy foreigners. We need to be diligent in making prayers to Almighty God, to Archangel Michael, whoever is your favorite angel, to come down and intercede and expose lone wolves, terrorists, sudden explosions, people coming up with new ways of banging their cars into people's worlds. You just really have to be on top of this for the next year because it is a reality. We have terrorists among us, and we need to be the guard and make the call so that they cannot hurt us. And Uranus and Aries, that's a pretty powerful. It also shows new and innovative ways of doing things where people will take leadership and conquer through belief systems. You'll see a lot of crusading for causes coming forward.
Yes, and we have some of that's in the works, actually. It's funny you should say that. The Zen of Leadership, where we use spiritual techniques to actually work with the servant leadership concepts to help team dynamics.
I think he just did a plug.
I did.
I think he did a plug.
That's something we've been working on for 25 years. Yep.
But you'll see a lot of people coming up with independent, innovative, inventive, amazing leadership techniques that will, change the course of things. It's time for a change. What 2017 offers everyone is the opportunity to think out of the box. Get out of the box and do it your own way. I did it my way with a team.
Yeah, with a team. Well, let me tell you that if you are listening and you have team dynamics and you would like to have your team use spiritual concepts to further your cause in God's will, please contact me. This is something I have worked on very diligently for 25 years. So I will help mentor your team.
How do they get a hold of you?
They can call me at 406-224-1075. 406-224-1075. And the number in New Jersey is 406-224-1075. And if you order before midnight tonight, I might actually answer the phone directly. Just don't block your call.
He's not in New Jersey. You're not in New Jersey.
Not anymore.
But
not anymore.
If you... Okay, you got a plug, so I get a plug.
Yeah, you get a plug.
You need to do your 2017 astrology to see just exactly how Uranus hits you.
And
in
perhaps
that
where could
configuration.
Where could they have that done?
By me.
By you? And what perhaps do you do for them?
Well, I take their time, their date, and their place of birth and put it all together, and it's about numbers. It's about math.
Okay.
It's about math.
And
it tells you the opportunities that you have and maybe some of the pitfalls you may face, but you have free will choice to be or not to be, and I know you can overcome, especially when you've got that objective information.
And where do they get that information?
From me.
Yeah, where?
And you can text me, which is the fastest way to get me is texting me because, believe me, I'm on the phone 24/7.
Trust me. Text her. That's the only way I can get in touch with her. And we do radio.
406.
And that's even hit and miss.
406 is the area code. I said that 3 times. 406, so you should remember that. 5993934.
5993934.
5993934 to get more and to open the door.
Oh, I'm out of here. Hey, one Christmas joke for you. Wait. One Christmas joke for you before we go running out the door.
Sure.
Okay. Let me see. Let me see if I can find this. Okay. All right. A policeman is interviewing the bank manager after a robbery. So he asked the manager if the robbers' faces were visible. The manager replies, no. They were all wearing stockings over their heads. The policeman then asked the manager what kind of getaway car the robbers were driving. The manager says, well, now, this is slightly unusual. They weren't driving a car. They were riding an elephant instead. The policeman says, an elephant? The manager says, yeah. They used it to dodge the traffic. They even plowed through a couple of cars. The policeman asked the manager, do you know what kind of elephant it was? The manager says, how should I know? Isn't an elephant an elephant? The policeman says, no, African elephants have big ears. The Asian elephants have small ears. The manager says, I already told you I couldn't recognize any of the robbers. I couldn't recognize the elephant either because he had a stocking over his head. All right, we're out of here.
That was pretty good. I liked that. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Happy New Year. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Let Jean do an astrology consultation for you, your family, or your friends. Go to astrologyjeanhart.com or give her a call or text her at 1-406-599-3934. There are powerful spiritual tools available to help you deal with planetary and personal challenges, and these can be found at prophecyisgiven.com. And be sure to visit our website at thetrekupwardradioshow.com or stop by on Facebook at www.facebook.com/trekupward, and be sure to hit like on our page. Or visit YouTube and search for the Trek Upward Radio Show. Be sure to subscribe so you do not miss another episode of the Trek Upward Radio Show. The Trek Upward Radio Show is a studio at 5,600 feet production.